Good morning, boys. Today we will be doing the second chapter in English literature for class 7, The Master Artist, written by Carol Moore. Carol Moore is an author and the creator of the site Children's Storybooks Online. Now, she created the site, it says, to fulfill her lifelong dream of writing stories for children. So she is basically a person who loves to write stories for children. She also illustrates stories for children. Now let us see what we have in this story, The Master Artist. The names here are a little French, so the pronunciation of these names would be a little difficult. Well, they have helped you with the pronunciation down here, so you need to follow that while reading. And remember, as and when we proceed with the lesson, any difficult words that you come across, underline them so that you can find the meaning from the dictionary and write them down in your copies. So, let's start the lesson. The Master Artist. It says, Monsieur Signy Labbé. It's a very odd name. That's the way they address people in France. It's French. Monsieur means Mr. So, Monsieur Signy Labbé had been a master artist of his day, and in 1392 was ready to retire when, in the month of May, Giuliano Bartoli, a rich Italian patron, sent for him. On his arrival, Bartoli said, "I'd like a portrait of myself on the wall of my dining hall, where everyone can see it. Could you paint it? The wall is 20 feet tall." So we see Labbé had been called by Giuliano Bartoli. Giuliano Bartoli was a rich Italian and he was a patron of art. So he called this artist to draw himself a portrait on his wall here, on the dining hall wall, remember. So he asks the painter, "This wall is 20 feet tall, can you paint my portrait on it?" Monsieur Labbé looked up thoughtfully for a moment and then shook his head. "I'm sorry, but I don't think so. I'm ready to retire, so I'm not available for hire." However, seeing the disappointment in Signor Bartoli's eyes, he continued, "Well, there's a possibility if you think you can allow me to use my abilities to the fullest. If you let me find out how far I can go as an artist, not for money, mind you, but for food and a bed instead. You need not even pose, because my memory is excellent. Already I can see your portrait in my mind. But I insist, Signor Bartoli, that while I work, your portrait must remain hidden even from you." So we see in the beginning, Monsieur Labbé said he would not make his portrait because he was going to retire. But when he saw disappointment in Signor Bartoli's eyes, he says, well, he thought about it and he tells him that if you allow me as an artist to go to the fullest length over here of all my abilities, then I will draw your portrait. But there was a condition. He said, even you yourself will not be able to see it, because it will be hidden from you as well. How strange, thought the patron. But he also thought about how highly the artist had been recommended. "Of course," he said, "anything you wish, but I insist at least upon paying you something for your effort. Let's draw up a contract. So the patron here, Signor Bartoli, thought about it. This was a very strange thing. He couldn't even see his own portrait being made. But yet, he thought about how good an artist he was and how well recommended he was by other people. So he says, well, but I insist on paying you something, and so let us draw up a contract. So they wanted to sign some legal papers so that both would be in agreement with each other. Now a glint came to Monsieur l'Abbe's eyes as he gazed upon that 20-foot tall wall and thought of all that space, such a wonderful space to give his imagination wings. As an artist, Monsieur l'Abbe wanted something new, something more creative than what he had done all his life. Because it says, unknown to Signor Bartoli, or indeed anyone else, for all of his career of 45 years, Monsieur l'Abbe had longed to paint in his own way. So he had an idea to do something other than what generally people did. And what way was that? Certainly not the popular styles of the time. No. Monsieur Signy l'Abbe had hungered to break free of restraints, but the guild, his art, his craft rather, and livelihood would never have allowed it. The guild here is a professional union of artists and craftsmen which were quite powerful, and every artist in those days had to follow certain rules in order to be in one association with all the other artists. So Signor de Signy l'Abbe, it says, was caught up in the ideas of the guild and he could not experiment on his own. Now this was an opportunity for him to do something new. So he followed their rules, it says, the guild's rules over here, although he was never proud of it, of course. He didn't reveal this to Signor Bartoli. He did not tell Signor Bartoli the secret why he wanted to do it all separate and all by himself. So they signed the contract. Signing the contract, they sealed the agreement. Immediately, the master artist threw a high curtain in front of the wall, a curtain through which Signor Bartoli could not see at all. He tried to peek, but Monsieur l'Abbe insisted on total privacy for his artistic techniques. A week passed. How is it coming along? Asked the hopeful Signor Bartoli. Answering from behind the curtain, Monsieur l'Abbe said, "It's coming along quite well. You know, at the age of 8, I was apprentice to the great Ambrogio Lorenzetti. I could never dishonor his name." So he takes the name of a great artist of his time and he says, when I was just 8 years of age, I was his apprentice. That means at the age of 8, he started learning art under this great artist. So he says, I could never dishonor his name. He taught me the art of grinding pigment, laying plaster, sometimes slowly, sometimes faster. He taught me how to draw and, most importantly, not to hurry. Signor Bartoli, a masterpiece takes a while at least. So he tells Signor Bartoli that his master had taught him well on how to grind pigments. Pigments are different colors with plaster so that it remains forever. When the colors are mixed with the plaster and painted, that remains for a longer time. And he says, if you actually want a good masterpiece, you need to give it time. Reluctantly, Signor Bartoli withdrew. A month passed. How is it coming along? Signor Bartoli asked. It's coming along nicely, said Monsieur l'Abbé, again from behind the curtain. Along with his words came the strange sounds of swooshing, clanking, and slapping. You know, you're fortunate that I am painting your portrait. Only buon fresco will need 4 coats of lime plaster. Now, what is buon fresco? Buon fresco it's an Italian expression for true fresco. Fresco was a technique of painting in which a picture is painted on a wall or ceiling while the plaster is still wet, so that the colors blend with the plaster and they become fixed as the plaster dries. So it becomes a very permanent kind of painting, very long lasting, doesn't get spoilt in a hurry. Now, sighing deeply, the patron withdrew again. Just how long would this take? Another 3-4 months passed, and finally half a year went by. One day, Signor Bartoli marched in, demanding to see his portrait. You must be finished by now, and today I will see it. Now you see, Signor Bartoli was beginning to lose patience. It had been nearly 6 months, half a year had gone by. He exclaimed that he wanted to see it that day, and he was shaking with frustration. It was frustration mixed with anger as to why was this artist taking so long. Stepping out from behind the cloth, as though surprised by such anger, Monsieur l'Abbé said calmly, "That's fine. You needed only to request it." And he pulled aside the 20-foot tall curtain. Giuliano Bartoli stood for a minute. Then his mouth fell open. His eyes turned red, and he grabbed what few hairs he had left on his head. He did a little hop and then a twitch, and his eyebrows twisted as though he was under a spell. Giuliano Bartoli obviously did not like his portrait, not a bit. Giuliano Bartoli was enraged. So we see, the moment he happens to pull down the curtain and show Giuliano Bartoli his portrait, for a moment he was just standing, fixed. He was in a state of shock. And then his mouth fell open, his eyes turned red, and whatever little hair he had on his head, with anger, he seemed to be pulling at his own hair. He did a little hop and a little twitch, and his eyebrows twisted, they say, as though somebody had him under their spell, some kind of a magic spell. Giuliano Bartoli, obviously, all this action shows that he did not like the portrait at all, not a bit. And he was very, very angry. "How absurd," he said. "How disgusting. What does this mean? You'll not receive any money, do you hear?" Remember, they had signed a contract in which he said, "I insist to pay you something for your work." And so they had drawn a contract between themselves. But now, after seeing his portrait, Giuliano did not want to pay the artist a penny, or anything at all. He tells him up to his face, "You will not receive any money. Do you hear? None," he says. "You're not an artist, maybe a thief or a madman." He says, "Get out of my sight. You leave my house tonight, or I'll have you thrown out." He's so angry, he tells Monsieur l'Abbé that if you don't leave my house tonight, I will have you thrown out. I will have you taken and put out of my house. You will be no longer part of my house. So what had Monsieur l'Abbé drawn that was so wrong? He couldn't see it. He'd fused and fixed for so long, it says. It was his 20-foot tall masterpiece. Remember, all his life, from an age of 8, he had trained as a good artist. And he was a good artist. But he used to work under the guidance of the guild. Whatever all the artists did, he did the same. He could not do or experiment with something new. But now this was an opportunity for him to create something new. And so he had done so. But the people of his age could not understand what he had done. And so he was ridiculed. They were angry with him. It was a 20-foot tall masterpiece, it says. He wasn't sorry that he had drawn his heart's content his way, no matter what anybody could say. Perhaps his patron couldn't tolerate his cubist expression. Now, when we say cubist expression, what do we actually mean? What's a cubist expression? Cubist belonging to a style called cubism. It's a form of modern art which uses geometric shapes and was developed and made famous by the famous artist Pablo Picasso in the early 20th century. And this story tells us that an artist who lived 5 centuries earlier had discovered the same style and received no recognition for doing so. So we see Monsieur l'Abbé was a great artist when other people of his age couldn't even think of something called cubism. Okay, he had thought about it. He always wanted to draw something new, something more creative, and he had drawn this picture of this patron of art here, Signor Bartoli. But Bartoli could not understand that portrait in different shapes, geometrical shapes, imagine. So he was very, very angry with him. But if truth be told, he says, it says the story here, Monsieur l'Abbé wasn't crazy. It's only that people did not understand him at that age. Not at all. He wasn't crazy at all, it says. He'd simply been born 500 years too early, because this particular form of art was developed in the 20th century, right? And so, Monsieur l'Abbé wasn't crazy at all, even though his people thought at that time that this man is crazy and what has he gone and made? He's wasted so much of paint and plaster, and 6 months he lived in Signor Bartoli's house, ate, drank, slept over there. All that money wasted behind him. That's the reason why Signor Bartoli was angry. But nobody actually understood what a great artist he was and how great a portrait he had drawn at that age. Okay, so that's what the story is all about. It's adapted from The Master Artist by Carol Moore. Carol Moore is telling us about this great artist who lived years before this new art form was actually taking expressions. That's all we have in this lesson. In the next class when we meet, I will help you out with the question and answers. Right now, what I want you people to do is underline all the difficult words that you come across. Make sure you note them down in your exercise copy and you start learning them. The lesson is very simple. I hope you have all understood it. And please continue to study your books, read them. Okay? Thank you.